Hello, you guys. Hi, it's Jessica again. So I wanted to just take a moment here because I received an email asking bloggers to join in on the conversation and the discussion on generational health. So I wanted, of course, to chime in about generational health and what it exactly means to me. Being a mother of six kids and being a wife of 15 years now. Yes, we just had our 15-year anniversary. Generational wealth is something that I hold close and near and dear to myself, to me. So definitely want to chime in and give my input, my feedback about what I believe generational wealth means as an African American mother, and just as a wife as well, and as a mom living in 2015, in the year of all of the fast technology, of limitless possibilities via the internet, things to that effect. So I pose this question to you: how are you passing the buck? How are we as a society, number one, placing the information out there for our children? And then number two, how are you as a mother passing the dollar on to your kids? Or creating a legacy or leaving behind a business that can be taken over and taken up and taken over by your children. So, my sister, I had this conversation with my sister, and, she made a comment to me. My sister said, I think she said it best, really. I know how to be broke. I don't know how to have money. And how many of you does that resonate with? How many of you does that chime in to you? I know it rings loud to me. I know how to be broke. I know how to make a dollar out of 15 cents. Like, I know how to spread it. I know how to make, you know, food that will last for 2 days, make it last for a week. I know how to do that. I don't know how to have money. So when I've come into a large amount of money, when I've come into a bigger paycheck, a bonus, a client, what have you, what do I do with those extra funds? I try to spend it. I spend it as fast as I can. And, usually that's not the way that we should handle money, right? We should invest or save or put something away for a rainy day. But I've been ingrained and I have been, kind of pretty much just, I'm sorry, there's a car behind me. I've been placed into this culturalization of being an all-consuming society and consuming as much as I can. So with that, I think we spend, and I know for myself, I spend money because I feel like if I don't spend it, then it will be taken away. Somebody's going to find out I have it, and they're going to take that money away from me. So now my kids are waiting on me here. So I'm going to make this short but sweet. Um, and they're talking to me. So the way that we consume money, or the way that we get money, or we profit from money, the way that we attain money can be either a negative or a positive. Money is currency, and currency can be transferred into power. But there's also a positive power and there's a negative power. So you can have either of the two that influence the way that you act in your behavior. If you don't have money, and I think Greater Good Science Center has proven that if money does make you happy to a certain extent, but there is a positive way that money can be acquired, and then there's a negative way that money can be acquired. Let's say you get an inheritance, which from a relative that loved you enough to leave money behind for you, versus if you would get money out there on the street and you're stealing and robbing a bank, or selling whatever, doing whatever that is to accumulate that wealth. Those are two different instances where money can either be a positive or the money can be a negative. So wealth, as we say, does not equate to whether or not you have large quantities of money, because like I mentioned before, that money can either come from a positive source or a negative source. So, I heard the saying while I was doing research about generational wealth, that white men get rich and they stay rich, but black men get rich and it's a countdown to when they're broke. And, that really gave me an epiphany. How many times, like I said before, I've been kind of socialized in my culture to think that I have to accumulate a lot of wealth and then I have to go and spend it on shiny new things, when that isn't always the case. So just breaking that down. Being rich and being wealthy. Rich is temporary, but wealth is enduring and it's passed on to generations. So just think about that. Wealth is enduring and it's passed on from generation to generation. So with that, I want to add in this little bonus here, this little quote that I found from Madam C.J. Walker. I'm a woman who came from the cotton fields of the South. From there, I was promoted to the wash tub. And from there, I was promoted to the cook kitchen. And from there, I was promoted myself into business of manufacturing hair goods and preparations. I have built my own factory on my own ground. And that's from Madam C.J. Walker. So I think that a lot of the systematic brokenness that I've heard Lupe Fiasco call it systematic brokenness comes from our understanding of what wealth is and what money is and how we accumulate it and where we get it from and how we're supposed to use it. Our country as a whole has pretty much ingrained these different ideas. So it's up to us to pass the buck down from our children and use our change to make real dollars to make sense for our children so that we can continue on for our kids and their kids to have wealth, true wealth, and positive wealth, and consume only positive wealth. So I have these questions for you and pose these questions to you. 3 questions. Number 1, are you teaching your kids about money responsibility? Number 2, sharing healthy wealth. Healthy wealth, as in mental wealth, physical wealth, spiritual wealth, and monetary wealth. So wealth in all of the areas and where it's important. Then number 3 is, how will you begin to pass the buck today? How will you begin to use the change that we all have to pass the buck to your children, to create that financial wealth that we all speak of? So with that in mind, I want to just let you guys know about the Black and Married with Kids website. It's blackandmarriedwithkids.com. They're doing a screening of the Generation 1, the Search for Black Wealth. And that's going to take place on July 15th. It's going to be in Atlanta. On July 16th, it'll be in DC. And July 18th, it'll be in Chicago. And they're doing actually 2 screenings in Chicago. I'm hoping that they will definitely bring this out to California soon. As I believe the information in this film is very powerful just from watching the trailer. It's something that is definitely needed in our society, because in our society and in our culture, we believe that we need to accumulate as much as we can in order to be able to, and that's my daughter, Joseph, and my other daughter, we need to accumulate as much as we can in order to feel important, in order to feel any sense of importance of wealth, and we don't think about what's going to happen to our kids, what's going to happen going on to our future. So we need to take that into account, and we need to make sure that we are transferring and showing and role modeling to our children great understanding of what wealth truly means. Once again, wealth is not only equate to financial gain. It's mental, physical, spiritual, and monetary. So with that, I want to say my name is Jessica Walker from the Jaw Research Institute. I hope you enjoyed my little take on generational wealth, how are you passing the buck along to your kids? Please leave me a comment below, because I definitely want to know how you're using your change to make change and to generate wealth within your family and for generations to come. How are you passing the buck along to your daughter or son? All right, so please leave me a message down here below, either on the blog or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I hope to hear from you soon. Once again, motherhood can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be, because you have me, Jessica A. Walker Jaw. All right, I see you guys around the blog. Coming here from Los Angeles to you live. Have a great night. Bye. See you next time.